scaling up is this series of stepping stones or milestones, and that's what the ladders and the pillars represent here. The numbers aren't on that particular slide that you've got there, but the one right at the bottom left is a one-person business. The next one is 3 to 5, then 8 to 12, then 20 to 25, 40 to 60 typically, and then upwards we're then talking sort of 250 to 600. But this is the idea that you can climb the ladder of success to one of those types of businesses, and that's great, you get there. But if you want to move to the next stepping stone and climb the next ladder, you can't just jump straight across. It's a different kind of business that you need to build. There are different decisions that you need to make, and at every one in between you've got to think about strategy, people, execution and cash typically to do that. Otherwise you might get stuck in one of these valleys. So that's the basic scale up journey, and as I said, it was based around team sizes. But what we overlay on top are a couple of things. First of all, building for value is all the way across. It doesn't matter where you are, even if you're a one-person business, unless you really are not interested in building something that can continue, value is important. In fact, it's even important if you're just doing a consultancy type business, really, arguably. Leadership also spans across the whole spectrum, but it changes, and the point at which it changes is typically around about that 8 to 12, because up to that point, it's more about developing our own skills as a leadership. Beyond that point, we need to be developing leaders behind us within the business if we're going to be able to scale. So there's a slight shift in the leadership mindset, if you like, along that side. And the bit at the bottom there is talking also about the delegation. So typically, the things that we need to delegate up to that point are things that we're not the best at. So we should be getting things off our plate that we shouldn't really be doing. But then once we get beyond that point, as John always talks about, if you're the chief rainmaker, you've got to delegate even the things that you are the best at. Otherwise, you become the roadblock or the limiting factor in the scaling up of the business.